So today we have 10 fragrances that will last on clothing for weeks at a time. Yeah, seriously. So that probably sounds a little bit weird, right? Because typically you wear your clothes and then you wash them. But I've noticed this a lot when I wear jackets and I wear a fragrance. So I'll put my jacket on, I'll apply my fragrance, right? And, you know, maybe I'll just wear the jacket while I'm recording, or maybe I'm running out and doing something. When I'm done, I hang it back up. You don't need to wash them every time, especially I don't when I just wear them to record. And there's been times where I'll grab a jacket out of the closet and immediately I'll smell something. I'll be like, okay, I'm not wearing anything today. And I realize like, yo, that scent is still on that jacket and it's probably been there for weeks. And it's a known fact that fragrances last on clothing or fabric longer than on skin, but a lot of my fragrances in my collection will still dissipate off clothing quickly, for the most part, at least comparatively speaking. But not these 10 here. I mean, these will stick around until you wash it. Like, seriously, it's no joke. Very strong stuff, a lot of heavy hitters here. And look, if you're after performance, this is where you need to be. I will provide links to all of these fragrances down below so you can pick them up at a price below retail. And I want to start off with the inspiration for this video. So this was inspired by this actually happening recently. It's Parfums de Marly Herod, and it happened with one of my jackets, like I was just explaining a minute ago. And I hadn't worn that in literally probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. I pulled it out of there and I could smell it strong. And I knew right away it was Herod. And it's weird because it almost got like this fruity smell to it as it sat in there and developed over the week or two. Like, it was crazy. Tobacco, vanilla, cinnamon, and incense are a few of the main notes here. This is a tobacco fragrance. That's what it's all about. And it smells incredible from opening to dry down. It's one of my favorites. Love this stuff. But for me, you know, I am a big fan of tobacco fragrances. If that note doesn't really do it for you, then this fragrance may not really do it for you. It all just depends on what you're into. I know for me, whenever I'm in the mood for a tobacco scent, this usually is at the top of my list for me to pick up and spray on. And I'm trying to get it in as much as I can because the tobacco wearing season is quickly coming to an end here. So yeah, the inspiration behind this video and the, one of the niche fragrances in this video, there's one more as well. But man, what a strong scent. Next up we have 212 VIP Black by Carolina Herrera. Absinthe, vanilla, anise, and lavender are some of the main notes here. Sweet, but a little bit fresh. It has this nice juiciness from the vanilla. A little bit of a fresh balance also. Smells great. You know, it's not a super unique, mind-blowing scent. It's nothing that is going to really blow you away, at least most of you out there. But, you know, it's in this video for a reason. It lasts a long time on skin, but on clothing, even longer. It's another really nice wintertime scent. This one's going to be a little bit more playful, a little bit more mass-pleasing, and easier to pull off compared to something like Herod. You know, it is a designer-level scent, very, very likable, very approachable by a lot of guys out there, especially if you're just getting into fragrances and you want a cooler weather scent that's easy to pull off for not a whole lot of money. This one here is the way to go. Next up, one of my favorites that I love to wear when it's warm outside, and I've talked about it a lot, even over the winter time as well, so yeah, you guys are in for a treat this summer. I'm just kidding, I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but I mean, it is a serious favorite of mine. From RASASI, it's HAWAS. I gotta make sure I do that right away because, you know, showing my face through the bottle looks a little bit ridiculous. Plum, bergamot, ambergris, and watery notes are some of the main notes. You guys know what this one's all about by this point. It's an Invictus Aqua. Well, you know, Invictus Aqua smells like this, basically. This came out first, so if you've smelled Invictus Aqua, you'll know what this one's all about. Now, one thing I will say, if you're weighing your options here, and you're between Invictus Aqua 2018, the in-production one, or RASASI HAWAS, I would pick this one any day without even thinking twice. Currently, this one is in stock for $40 for 100 milliliters online at the third link down below. That's an absolute ridiculous steal. Like, this is a beast mode scent. It's incredibly strong, one of the strongest summer fragrances that I own, and it has the same type of performance as Invictus Aqua 2016, if you guys remember that one. And this one is way cheaper. It's also cheaper than the new Invictus Aqua. I think last time on discounters I saw it going for like $80 for 100 mil. not really good at all, and definitely not worth it when you can buy this one for about half the price, and it's way better to me. But yeah, this is one that I like to wear with a white t-shirt a lot in the summertime, fun, casual, playful, and it will stay on that clothing for days and days, and probably several weeks if I let it go that long. This stuff is no joke. Lasts forever on skin, and probably literally forever on clothing. Next up from Prada, we have Amber Pour Homme Intense. Myrrh, patchouli, and amber. So this one really for me is all about the patchouli note. Has a nice mature, kind of woody smokiness about it. It's a little bit resinous. It smells great. Not going to be for everybody, so I want to start that off, start this off by saying that. If you're a younger guy, don't go this way. Go with RASASI HAWAS, like we were just talking about. This is going to be a gentleman's fragrance for sure. It's got an older school smell to it. Some people may say that it smells old, that it smells like their grandpa. It's in that vein, that kind of older style, almost aromatic fougere leaning direction, that sort of thing. Very patchouli heavy. The patchouli and the way it comes across kind of reminds me of bits and pieces of something like a Guerlain Lidge or L'Instante Guerlain Eau de Parfum. Not saying that they're, very similar, but the way the patchouli comes across and the fact that this one also has a little bit of a chocolatey smell kind of reminds me of that. So if you're someone who likes a fragrance like that Guerlain that I mentioned, chances are you would probably like this as well, because they are somewhat in the same category a little bit. More of a classic, refined, gentleman scent. And there's no denying that this one is just a beast mode, super strong scent. It's an eau de parfum, so not even, the highest concentration. In fact, a lot of these in here, really aren't. A lot of EDPs and a couple parfums and EDTs as well, but it still goes and goes and goes for a long time. On skin, very strong, above average performance. On clothing, you better wash it to get it off. So let's go and throw it way back, this time with an EDT like I was just talking about. This is SPICEBOMB Eau de Toilette by Viktor & Rolf. Tobacco, cinnamon, and pink pepper are some of the main notes, as if I really needed to give you that note breakdown. Most of you guys know all about this one, and you're probably like, well, what about SPICEBOMB Extreme? Why didn't you include that one? Well, really because I wanted to include the EDT. That's why. There's no science behind it. The extreme version, yes, it will last on clothing for a long time, weeks at a time, but also so will the EDT. And I feel like nowadays the extreme is just so talked about for good reason that I wanted to kind of, put the spotlight back on the EDT. While a lot of people may be tired of it, not me. I still love this stuff, Just the original SPICEBOMB, where it all started, for me, still smells great. It's, of course, incredibly spicy, right? No shock there. But the tobacco note is very nice. The cinnamon in here giving some sweetness. It's a very fun and playful scent, and I think that's why I like it. Because, in a world where everything is moving so fast and it all feels like we're growing up so quick, something like this just makes me feel like, oh, time is slowing down a little bit, it just kind of brings you back, right? So this one's all about, still works great, still a good scent worth owning, even though there are lots of flankers. SPICEBOMB Eau de Toilette. So let's go with another fragrance that, these days is starting to get to that point where people are getting sick of it, basically. It's Acqua di Gio Profumo. It's got sea notes, incense, patchouli. You guys know the drill as well. I don't even need to describe that to you either. And you know how it smells, so I'll keep it brief here, but it's true. I've experienced this firsthand many times. This will not come out of your clothes unless you wash them. I don't care how long that shirt or that sweatshirt or hoodie or jacket sits there. Acqua di Gio Profumo is going to be on it. And what's cool is, after it's been there so long, you're really just down to the incense and the patchouli, the strong, heavy base notes, and it actually smells really good. But it just goes to show you, very strong stuff for an aquatic. It is a parfum. I know there's a debate on that, but when you look at the bottom of the bottle, and it says parfum, I had to make sure I was looking at the right place, parfum, right there. And also when you look on Armani's website, and it also says parfum, my bet is on that it's a parfum. Speaking of parfums, EROS parfum, mint, amber, tonka bean, apple, all of that good stuff. EROS DNA, amber as well, good dose of it. Out of all of the EROS flankers nowadays, this one by far is my absolute favorite. For a while there, it was kind of the EDP, because that one was, improved upon the original EDT DNA, because the EDT has been reworked and all of this and all of that over the years. So the EDP was kind of what I was falling back on, that one in Flame. But now that the Parfum is out and I've been able to extensively test it throughout the winter time, and I've been able to put it up against the EDP, the EDT, and Flame, this is my favorite. I love it because it is a Parfum. It's stronger, it's richer, it's more dynamic than all of the other versions. And don't get me wrong, I still really like Flame as well. Flame would probably be my second pick, just because that one's a little bit different than the rest of the line. Of course, this one shares the same exact bottle as everything else, so it's trying its best to fit in with the line and not really change anything. For the most part, just make it richer and enhanced, and that's what they did here. Strong performer, rich, deep, and you know, like the title of the video, you spray this one on your jacket, your clothes, whatever, it's going to be there a while. And I believe we have another Parfum, 3 in a row. Yep, that's what it says. It's Armani Code Profumo. So yeah, this is also a Parfum according to the bottle. For the longest time, I actually thought this was a EDP, even though it's called Profumo. And it kind of, the trend seems to be Profumo is Parfum. Maybe that's what it means. I really have no idea. But, you know, it's Armani Code Profumo. This will stay on your clothing for a long time. And actually, this is one that I was thinking about, too, along with Herod. Herod, you know, it inspired the idea for this video. And immediately after that, I was like, oh, another one that I could put in there was Armani Code Profumo. So I think this is actually the second one that I thought of, just because it's also one I've experienced firsthand. And it's another one where the longer it sits on your clothing, it almost gets better as it goes. Tonka bean, amber, leather, and cardamom. So by the time it's been on there for a good week or so, you're just getting just the leather, the amber, the sweet kind of resinous tonka, all of that going on. Smells great, lasts a very long time, and also, of course, it's a great performer on skin too. Last niche fragrance for this video, and second to last scent, we have MFK Baccarat Rouge 540, and this happens to be the Eau de Parfum. So if the EDP will last for weeks on your clothing, you can imagine what the Extrait would do. I also have the Extrait. I haven't really tested that. I haven't worn the Extrait nearly as much. There was a point where I was wearing a 540 EDP, consistently. And so during that time, I'd have hoodies and, jackets and all that stuff, winter coats that this would get kind of sprayed on when I was applying it. And I mean, good luck getting that out without washing it. Like it's there to stay. And on skin, it's a minimum 12-hour scent. It will probably go longer as well. Same with the Extrait. Strong DNA. Amberwood, saffron, fir resin, and ambergris. So it's very ambery, woody, transparent, kind of wispy. Has this almost magical, kind of dreamy smell to it. This has always been a fragrance that is just, it's been a head scratcher for me ever since the beginning. I remember when I first smelled it, I was like, okay, this is true niche here for me. And this was, back a good ways in the beginning of my collecting days when I was getting into niche. It was just one that perplexed me. And I remember I couldn't wait till I got a bottle, finally got one, and I was just hooked. I'm like, oh yeah, this is amazing. I'm the best smelling person in the whole frickin', state, probably is what I was thinking at that time. And still, I think it smells fantastic. Love the stuff. And, for the price, you do get incredible performance, which is a big positive because, yeah, this is not cheap. And last up, we have a fragrance that could have been expensive, but I decided to throw in a very, very popular and very, very solid clone or alternative. And it's RASASI YUQAWAM, okay? So second fragrance from RASASI here, although this is the only cloned one actually in this video. For once, it seems like they had their own creation there towards the beginning. But this, of course, smells a lot like Tuscan leather, remarkably close. Raspberry, leather, and suede are some of the main notes. Tuscan leather is going to be running you in upwards of 200 probably, depending on the bottle size, I believe. This one, honestly, I don't even know the going rate. 50, 60, maybe somewhere around in there. All I know is it's a big difference. And so if you want Tuscan leather at a fraction of the price, this is the way to go. And if you want something that will not come out of your clothing unless you wash it, this is also the way to go. I've seen people talk about this one as well with Tuscan leather, and probably with this as well. They would spray it, while they're wearing a leather jacket or something. And it would, a little bit of overspray would get on their jacket, and they would go to hang that thing up. and open up the closet probably, I think I've heard people say like a month or two later, several months later, and they could still smell Tuscan leather on that jacket. I just breathed in some of the juice here. Strong stuff for sure. I don't recommend doing that on purpose. Not that I did it on purpose, but don't try it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it lasts on clothing forever. Also lasts on skin for a very long time as well. And I'm speaking for both Tuscan leather and YUQAWAM. This one has remarkable performance for the price and is probably, I don't know, one of the best clones on the market. I mean, it just nails it so well. Very impressive. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. That's 10 fragrances that will last on your clothing for weeks, maybe even months. I've never gotten to the months point yet, but maybe I'll do an experiment. I'll grab one of my jackets, I'll spray it down with something here. I don't know what it would be. I could do multiples, but you know, it might muddle things up. Maybe I'll set it in there for a couple months to come back and see and do an update. Who knows? If you want to see that, leave a comment down below. Most people probably don't care, so we'll just leave it here. I will link these down below to discounters so you can pick them up at a price below retail. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. RASASI at $40. And we'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.